Bar for Bar album reviews. Kota the Friend. Everything. Everything is the second studio album from Brooklyn rapper Kota the Friend. Kota the Friend's been around for a while now, releasing many projects, EPs, mixtapes, as well as his debut album, FOTO, which dropped last May. Prior to this project, the only exposure to Kota for me was from random verses posted online. And for whatever reason, I didn't really explore or dive into his music until now. And looking back, that was a huge mistake. I didn't really know what to expect from this album, other than for it to be good, because everyone on Twitter and Reddit were hyping it up. So, knowing basically nothing about Kota, I went into my first listen of this album late Thursday night with pretty low expectations, and boy, was I in for something special. The overall theme of this album is the question of what means everything to you? And this question gets answered by multiple different people throughout the album. The answers to this question range from love and positive vibes to getting fresh flowers and spending time with friends and loved ones, and to spending time with your kids, because all that really matters is what you do while you're alive, and you don't want to regret anything. The general feeling of this album is pretty upbeat, and I feel like it's pretty positive as well. It also gives off a lot of summertime vibes, mostly because the instrumentals are fairly high energy but still pretty chill. I only managed to give it one full listen in the car, just because can't go nowhere. But it definitely passes the ride around test, and it definitely bumps in the whip. It's just something that you can throw on, and it has just enough bounce to put a smile on your face. Honestly, it really sucks that this summer's probably canceled, just because I feel like everyone would be able to hear at least one track from this album if they were out in public anywhere, because it just fits the mood so well. So the project itself starts off with the track Summer House, and this track is interesting because the beat and the instrumental are fairly upbeat, but the content necessarily is not. The chorus starts off with, "Call my phone, how was you?" And then someone responds, "Good, and you?" "I'm okay, just okay, nothing new." "What's up with you?" "I'm okay, just okay, what you mean?" I feel like this track does a really good job of setting the tone for the rest of the album, because although it feels like the chorus makes it seem like the speaker isn't feeling too great, by the time the second verse comes around, they have a more positive outlook on things. I also really just like the chorus because it's like, most people just kind of have like a general, like, yeah, I'm fine. So it's nice to have someone actually ask, oh, that's it? But the positive outlook is something that we get pretty much throughout the rest of the album. And the next track, Mikasa, continues the positivity with the saying, "Mikasa es su casa." And he also mentions on the chorus that if you show him love, he'll show it back. And that's actually just a vibe that I can really get behind. And I feel like most people feel that way, but it's not as prominent as it used to be. Aside from all the positivity, this album also brings in a lot of really solid features from Joey Badass, Baz, Hello O'Shea, Kyle, Toby Lou, Alex Bannon, Kate, and Braxton Cook. And each one of these features fit the album perfectly, and they don't feel like they were forced in here at all. Even the features that we get from Lupita and Lakeith Stanfield fit in really well. And Those interludes are really nice because they kind of fit in with the trend of people explaining what everything is to them throughout the project. Listening to this album, there's a lot of times where I can picture just different scenes where a lot of these songs could do well, like whether it be just in real life or in movies or shows. Like, for example, the track Long Beach. I feel like it would be really good for just a chill party, but I can totally see it being used on Insecure. Even the song Away Park could fit in really well with Insecure. One thing I would really recommend to people is to listen to this album either on good speakers or good headphones or in the car, just because there's a lot to the instrumentals that your basic computer speakers won't pick up on. For example, the track Volvo gives, like, it has a lot of ambient sounds, like kids playing and swings creaking, and just things like that really give tracks more texture. And I think Kota actually mentioned that that's what he was trying to go for with this, like the production on this. Like, he wants, just texture to it. I also just really like this song because my first car was a Volvo. Just, My favorite tracks on this album are Mikasa, BQE, Long Beach, Away Park, and Volvo. I also really liked every other song on this album. It's just, I'm trying to limit it to 5. Overall, this album's a great listen to not only rap fans, but really anyone who's more into upbeat and generally happy music. Kota does a really good job of holding my attention through various beats with his lyrics. The biggest takeaway from this project is the question of what everything means to you. It's a really interesting and important question that a lot of people, I feel, either haven't been thinking of or just kind of ignored. Sometimes we just need to take a step back and really think about what things are most important to us and stop focusing on things that don't matter or cause us stress or we just don't enjoy. And that's actually why I've been putting so much more effort into Bar for Bar, and I appreciate all the feedback I've been getting. Conveniently, this is the 2-year anniversary of me saying I want to do this sort of thing. And over the past about 2 years, I've been working on this, and I really want it to be a space where people can just hang out and, kind of build a community. It started out as a podcast that a couple of friends and I would just do on Sunday nights and talk about hip hop on camera. But off camera, it was like a therapy session for us. Obviously, things have changed a bit, but the end goal is the same. I still want it to be a space where people can discuss not only music, but really for whatever is going on in their personal lives or around the world. And I believe that hip hop would be a great backbone for the culture and community that I'm trying to build up. I didn't really expect to go into that. It just happens when I was writing the review that I felt it was necessary to bring up. With all that said, I really enjoyed the album. It's not really something that I would get into too often. If y'all know, I'm more into the Griselda sound and more sad rap sound. But it's still a really good album, and just because I'm not a huge fan of the sound doesn't mean you should just ignore it entirely. So definitely check this album out, and if you have, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. And also, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this content. And also let me know what other albums and topics you want me to touch on. I promise next week I'm doing the RJ Payne review, even though Crooked Eye and Joel Ortiz are dropping an EP this week. That's all I got. Thank you.